All right, welcome to Power Hour. So glad you all are here. Super excited for everything we have in store today. We are going to first just go over like a few announcements, and then I'm going to show you guys our quote of the day, and we'll do our gratitude, and then we'll quickly turn the time over to Amos because he has a lot to cover and not a lot of time. And so, whether you took the test or you didn't, I think you'll still gain a lot of insight. And then, as you go dig deeper in your own results, it'll help you get more and more clarity on yourself. So, um, I'll start by announcements. Hopefully, you guys saw last night on Trent's skill training, which, by the way, was really good. Like, everybody should go watch that. It was about closing. And so, Aaron Peterson, who if you were at skills school at the method, he did a little presentation about closing, and he kind of did a similar thing. I needed to hear it again. There were a lot of good reminders for me and just little shifts that I'm going to make in the way that I overcome obstacles. And so I can't recommend it enough. Definitely go listen to that. It was awesome. But one of the things that he talked about, and I also liked the science call a lot last night. Trent kind of changed up the format, maybe pros and cons to changing up the format. But as a whole, I think I liked it because we got to some of those testimonials a little earlier. It's also a really good one for people who have questions about GLP-1s because we got deep on that call, on the science call. But one of the things that he announced was about Diamond Camp and about method. So if you have ever like if you're qualified for the method and you've never attended, then you can go to that method. If otherwise, you have to hit executive manager and then you can go. And also, they're doing the same days, they're doing a diamond camp, which is going to be slightly different than the last diamond camp. The last diamond camp we had was so excellent. Like, I can't say enough good things about it. And they're doing it again, but it'll be slightly different because it's available to anyone. And so, if you can get yourself to Florida, they're doing it at I guess there's a Unicity office in Florida, which I've never seen and didn't even really realize there was. So that's kind of fun. So you can go there and be a part of that. But there is limited space. You have to register for that one, but anyone can go. So I would like to strongly encourage you. There's something about being in person and like training with people rather than over Zoom that has a different energy. Oh, look, Jennifer's saying, yeah, that she's going and if people want to share rooms. Yeah. So if it works out for you to go February 6th and 7th, I put all the details in this week's email. So you can go check that out and get some more details and click on things. Now, I also know, I'm going to just tell you right now, according to Rav, right around the actual office, he thinks that the hotels aren't as nice. Okay, now I've never been in this area, so I can't speak to it, but he thinks it's better to stay in Lauderdale, and then it's like a 20-minute commute. But then that means that you have to worry about Ubers and all that kind of stuff. So just take that for what it's worth. But I'm just giving you the information that I've received, and you can determine where you want to stay based on that information. The good thing is everything in that area is not too far apart. So, yeah. Okay, let's jump into gratitude first. So, I'm going to put the prompts in the chat so you guys can just take a minute with it. And I always just want to reiterate like how important this gratitude piece is. It doesn't take very long. We're just going to take a couple minutes with it. But in my mind, like this is where we see progress that we might have otherwise overlooked in our process here. And so taking a moment to do this, and I realize that you might already kind of do this in your own way, but
You have a drink?
doing this collectively, taking the time to really do this, it makes a huge difference and will change your life. So I'm gonna put those prompts in the chat. You guys can respond in the chat or feel free to just write it down on a piece of paper. Whatever works for you is great with me. And I'm just gonna like be quiet for a minute while everybody does that. And I'm gonna do it too. Mm. Okay, I'm starting to see these come in. Jennifer, I love that. Jennifer says she's been 100% consistent with the method. That's huge. She's been posting on her personal social media, and that's been harder, but she's been doing it regularly. And I love that you're grateful for Robin. So awesome. Isn't that the cool things? Yeah, sometimes it's like when you're up, I'm down, and vice versa. And so we can help each other. Um, so great. Yeah. Ooh, Marilee's also been doing the method regularly, and she is being patient with slow growth and realizing it must be for a reason. Love it. Yes, Kristen. I love it. Finding harmony between family and the business and getting some extra weightlifting in. So great. Yeah, Natalie, as a leader that just shows up for all of us. Okay. And because of time, I'm not going to go super deep on these, but thank you for practicing gratitude. It's so great. Okay, I'm going to share with you the Stewart quote, and I'm excited about this one. We're not going to spend a ton of time on it because I want to leave enough time for Amos, but um, I loved this. Okay, so this is a picture of him, and I think that's Sam. I'm not 100% sure about him. I think it's Sam when I zoomed in because he's done a lot of these big summit hikes with his kids. So cool. So it says, the quicker you want something, the easier you are to manipulate. Ooh. One of the lessons I learned in the mountains was that the shorter the route, the steeper the climb. And most of the time, you don't have the skill or the strength to make that steep climb. As a result, shortcuts almost always end badly. Stay on the trail, be steady and consistent. That's how you reach the summit. Okay, I needed that message. I don't know how many of you need that message, but I really loved kind of the maybe a little bit of kick of saying, "Hey, you might not have the skill or the strength to make that steep climb. Like be careful what you wish for a little bit, right? Like realize that the skill and the strength are being developed as you do the steady and consistent thing on the trail." So, we're not going to spend a lot of time on discussion today, but we'll all just take that in. And if you have anything you want to share, share it in the chat. But I'm going to shift now and I'm going to bring Amos in. I'm actually just going to let him take over. And I took the test. I loved the insights I learned from the test. I know many of you have taken the test. You want to understand more what the heck this is, how it can help you and benefit you in business. And so, Amos, I'm going to just let you take over.
Thanks, Brett. Thanks for doing this for the people here because this really helped me. I turned 50 this year, this few weeks ago, and to honor myself and one of my good friends, got some Transformer toys. So when I was a kid, I loved Transformers. My my first love is probably Star Wars, but my second love would have been Transformer toys. And the reason is they change. So I love Star Wars because of the story arc. I love Transformers because it's more than meets the eye. You know how something can go from a little, it's Bumblebee. Anyone here recognize Transformers, or are you guys not old enough like me? Okay. I see JoJo putting her hand up, Kristen, Janet. So this obviously changes. Well, and you can also break them. But this also changes into a robot. I tend to push things too hard or pull them too hard. That's my part of my MO. And you guys know the drill, right? Transformers more than meets the eye. Autobots in disguise. That was the whole shtick. That was their theme song. I'll fix that later. Anyway, it turns into a little robot. And when their ability to change and adapt is what actually saved them. Their ability to embrace their powers is actually what saved them in the cartoons. And that's what the BOSI did for me as I get into it. So my good friend Mel Cario, who passed away almost 2 years ago, Mel introduced this to me. We became fast friends about 5-ish years ago. Oh, good. I fixed it, I think. And Mel was like, Amos, I got to introduce you to the BOSI test. Now, I know some of you took your tests and some of you are like, well, I didn't get an email. And fair enough. I don't know if it didn't kick it to you from the company or if it's in your spam or junk, or there's so many promotional tabs now with Google. But what we'll do is we'll go through. Can you clean the line, Britt? Just mute everybody. Do a mute all other than me. What we'll
Yeah.
go through today. Okay, cool. We'll show you and empower you to go, oh, I was trying to pretend and feeling shame over the fact that I can't fly, but I can drive. And so you're going to be able to understand your superpower once you do the BOSI, specifically when it comes to business. What this did for me when I took this test, I carried a lot of misplaced shame and guilt over, well, how come I can't do that? How come I can't create systems? How come my lists and checklists and my handwriting suck? And all these people have the most insane. I'd watch the way my mom would do it. It was so articulate. And like, I've seen some of your guys' stuff and stuff you've created. And I'd be like, what's wrong with me? Anyone here ever felt like, what's wrong with me in business? Yeah. Because I felt like, what's wrong with me? Taking this test and learning what am I and what am I not allowed me to go, oh, and Mel told me that. He's like, once you do this, you're going to feel an unburdening from what you told yourself or what you allowed to be told to you, what you should do. Good boys and girls know how to sell. And if you don't, shame on you, all that nonsense. Okay. So, like, I've always known how to sell, but not like with great detail because I just like make a hot mess because of my personality. I get in there you know, and then there's others that are very strategic in selling, but I've never known how to create structures and systems and teaching people. I never make a lesson plan how to teach anybody. I literally felt I was supposed to grab this thing out of the box. So I did. I was like, all right, well, this should be fun. What am I going to talk about? So I never make a plan for anything. I just jump. But I marvel at people that can make a plan. Like, I'm watching Rochelle. She structures out all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, now I love systems, but only if I create them. And I'll show you a schematic I'm going to run you guys through today. It's going to help you understand the BOSI. Now, who here first successfully got your results? And don't feel bad if you didn't get your results because it's probably a tech thing or it's probably buried somewhere. But who here, by a show of hands or in the chat, got your results? Okay, so Maurice, I got mine. Natalie, let me scroll down. Okay, so Natalie, okay, boom, 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 boom. Oh, thanks, Jojo. You happy belated. Welcome to 50 Clubs. Thanks, Christina. Yeah. Love Transformers. Nelly says that's awesome. All right. If you love Transformers, throw your favorite one in the chat too. I want to know. I love Soundwave. I got Soundwave, just saying, with laser or Buzzsaw and Rumble and Ravage and Buzzsaw. So my friend bought me. Okay. So if you screenshot the heck out of it. Okay. Optimus Prime, Chris. Yeah, that Optimus Prime rocked. Okay, so who here got your results? Who can you throw your results in the chat? Your IO or SB or SO or in the order you got them. So primary, secondary, left to right, it would have read. Okay, so we got Optimus. So Kristen, you're an SI. So you're a systems first creator. So I'm going to guess that you're really good at systems and structure and teaching. If you're an SI, Kristen, you probably are very creative in the way you teach and structure your life. Is that correct? Ish. Okay. Where are the results here? Okay, we got Gina, who's an I. Is that Gina? Like the Gina I know? I don't see you on camera. Anyway, is
Yes,
that
yes.
okay, Gina? We've gone over your results. You're a creative. So I is your creative. That could be your creative in creating with your hands, your mind, your mouth, your movement. So what I is someone that is very creative, and I'll show you the schematics I built in a second. But I just want to see what we got here. IOSISISOSISB. Ooh, SB. Okay. SOSOSOSI. Okay. And I told Brittany, I said almost all your people are going to have S in their personality. I guarantee it. Anyone that really tends to be okay. Anyone here first before I ask that question? Does anyone here gravitate towards coaching? Some of you have a small or big, doesn't matter, or a desire to coach. Okay, I see hands. I'm just going through. Okay, almost every coach on the planet has S in them, primary or secondary. Not always, because sometimes some of you on your results, you'll have a secondary, it would have said, if you paid for the $25 one, it'll tell you your percentages. So that does not surprise me. Okay, so Becky, you did the extended one, OBSI. Okay. Becky, you are an opportunist builder. Interesting. SIIO. Okay, so we got, yeah. Okay. So what I'm going to show you now is a schematic that Joe Abraham, who did a TEDx talk, I believe in Oregon, was it Bend, Oregon? It's on YouTube. You can find it. He did two of them. And they didn't blow up. They're not huge things, but he wrote a book called Entrepreneurial DNA. Kelly says, oh, but not so sure I'm an opportunist. Okay. And if you are not sure, and before I go into Joe, what Britt said yesterday is very correct. Mel told me, he said, number one, when you take the test, Amos, he said, it's difficult sometimes to not go, well, the last 5-10 years, what have I always been? Anyone here ever had a difficult time accurately referencing yourself today because you want to look back and go, well, this is what I've done? That's not always easy. Because for me, it's like, okay, well, who am I today? Anyone here ever changing? Like a bunch of you are on social media. So I guarantee you're changing. I guarantee that anyone feel like you're growing here? I know, Kristen, you're growing. I see your butt out on social media all the time and you're just doing this, right? So if you are growing, your BOCI will change over time too. And so number one, Mel said, try to make sure, who am I today? So my guttural reaction, not am I scared of saying the truth of how I feel because I might get in trouble. Like there's whether from marriage, religion, and I'm not faulting. I'm just saying there's things that influence how I show up. And sometimes anyone ever felt, especially as women, any of you ladies ever felt like you're not always free to express yourself ever in life, whether it's from men or from women? Because you feel like, well, good girls are supposed to do this, right? I call it nonsense, but I understand it's real pressure that people feel. So Mel would say, make sure number one, you try to let your truth out. No one's going to see this stuff except for you guys, okay? And this is a safe community. Total, I'm too much, Tanya. Okay, awesome, awesome. Don't even recognize myself. Jojo, awesome. Still doing it, but starting to change. Yes. Okay. Kristen says, I took the as an SO and now I'm an SI. Interesting. Okay, yeah. So my results do fluctuate too as I keep fidgeting with my toy. Clearly, I have a tough time sitting still. Okay, the other thing is you will change. So every 6 months, Mel said, most people will change. And so what I'm going to show you guys now is how to reference. This is going to help you. Should have started with this. Anyone here interested in selling to people? Show of hands. Anyone here want to sell to customers? Okay, this material, how it's going to help you move the needle in your life in any relationships, it's going to empower you. Have all of the loved ones in your life take this test if they can and they're willing to. Obviously, we're looking for consent in life. But also, anytime you sit down with a prospect as a customer or a business or partner, all you got to do, you got a 50% chance at least at identifying one of their two major drivers. And if you can appeal to one or two of them, you've got a really good chance of landing the sale. How does that sound? Does that sound exciting? Okay, so I've used this stuff in sales pages. I've picked up 300 clients in my coaching thing in the last 2.5 years. And as I learned this, I started to apply this, and it made selling my coaching programs where I was selling 1 out of 3 to 1 out of 2 because I would appeal to their stuff. How does it sound selling 1 out of 3 to 1 out of 2? Do you guys like that? Or are you guys already crushing those numbers? You're already doing 1 out of 1. Yeah. Okay. So let's go to screen sharing. And I'm going to show you first the BOCI spreadsheet, BOSI. Okay. So that, because some of you like to read ahead. I don't blame you because I like to read ahead too. Why are you going so slow? Pick up the pace, right? So I'm going to shorten this. I'm going to make this smaller so we all stay together. Okay. And I'll open this up for questions as we go. I'm going to ask you guys, is this landing? If it's not landing, I want to reteach it so you guys don't you're not picking up what I'm throwing down. What's the point? Why wasting our time? Builder is, I call it the scaler. I like alliteration. So we go scaling, spice, stability or stabilization, and spark. Joe calls it the builder, the opportunist, the specialist, and the innovator. These are her strengths. Anyone here have some B in them? Scaling, not attached to the opinions of others. Making money. Anyone have B in them? You're going to have some of this in you. Brittany, I saw your hand. Opportunist. This is the spice in life. I call it, my words, selling, jumping, seizing opportunities, not needing details. How do I feel? Let's go. Anyone have any? Okay, if I see Vanessa's pointing at herself. Okay. Specialists, you guys are details, structures, stability. Like, anyone here have any of that in here? Because there's a bunch of you that said S. Exactly. Innovator, creating, thinking outside the box. Damn it, I'm not doing it your way. I'm doing it my way. Anyone ever felt like that? That you want to take ownership of the actual solution and not go, yes, church, yes, politics, yes, medical community. I'll just swallow whatever you say. You actually put your damn thinking cap on and go, no, I'm going to think for myself. Anyone ever done that? Okay, so that's what these strengths are. Okay, then we get to weaknesses. Bees can tend to burn through relationships. Why? Because they're not attached to the opinions of others. And I'm not faulting anyone. In all of this, I say zero shame. I believe shame is a made up concept brought in by the Roman Catholic Church that decided it's easier to control people and take their money and all that nonsense. I'm not into shame. If you buy into shame, I'm not faulting you, but I'm saying this teaching is not to make you feel any shame. It's for lights going on so you know what vehicle are you? Are you a jet? Are you a sub? Are you a car? Each one comes with different abilities, skill sets, and areas where you can thrive, where I can't thrive, but you could thrive. Okay. All right. So we got doesn't need other, or let's go to first this. Jetta Lambo. So an opportunist, I'm an OI combo with second secondary of S. So I like a little bit of scaling structure, which is why I can make these schematics to make my life make sense. But I have to create it. Don't create my damn schematic. Get your hands off my shit. I'll make my own stuff. That's how I am because I'm innovator. I am very creative. I have to own my real estate. Some of you are SIs. I bet sometimes some of you ISs and SIs, and you here have to own your creations. Like, I want to create it. I see a hand there, Jojo. I want to create it, right? Okay. Here's the downside of an opportunist, because I have this in me. If you're driving in a Jetta and a Lambo pulls up, you're going to look over and go, that's a really nice looking car. Okay, so this is in a marriage, this is in a relationship, this is in a business opportunity. So this is the burden of responsibility of having O in you. Is anyone here have a little O in them and you've felt the temptation to switch gears? I see some heads nodding. Okay, S, polarized by fear or over concern. The downside of the S is, oh, stop share. S's feel like tigers are in all the bushes of the world. The problem is that tigers are in some of the bushes of the world. They're like, and so the S's can be paralyzed by fear. And they're not wrong because they've seen people get mauled. Anyone here have any S in them and go, I'm looking for testimonials. I'm looking for stats. Give me the numbers. Prove to me it's safe to jump off the cliff. The O personality, they already jumped off the cliff. The I personality, if they jumped, they're trying to do this creative backflip thing. And the B personality will jump off the cliff if there's $1 million they get because they care about scaling, money. Show me it's worth my time. Okay. Is this resonating? Okay. Continuing on. Here we got weaknesses. Other traits. B's do not need others. B's are very independent. There's a detachment, but I'll do it at the same time. O's want the mic. Anyone here ever had a friend that wants the limelight? Yeah. S's tend to feel very comfortable. This is an SO with friends that want to sing, want to speak, want to dance. The S's will watch. Okay, I'm here to watch a show, baby. But the O's want the mic. Anyone here ever had a friend that wants the mic? And you'll go and support. A typical S personality will love to support and cheer and not feel competitive. They're like, no, you do you, boo. I'm just going to watch here. All right, I'm watching the chat. I'm totally doubting my O now. Okay, well, that's what this is going to do. So as you take your might want to do your extended test. So they don't need others because they're looking to scale. So they're not concerned with your emotions. Now, again, unless there's a lot of S in a B, S's are concerned with the safety and feelings of others, the structure, the certainty. They do really well in religion. A high O does not do well in religion. An S does great as a employee. An O, not so good. In fact, you got to watch them because if they could be a little charlatan, which we'll get to in a second, or salesy. Okay, S are happy to observe. I's are happy to be in the basement creating. Brett, you said your mom is an I. She's creating stuff. I don't remember what stuff. So, has anyone here ever seen an I or been an I that's happy to? I used to spend hours uh, at the piano when I lived with my parents. I was 24, and I would spend hours arranging music. I was a singer. I would put on performances and this, that. I'd gather three other guys and I would arrange the music. I didn't know piano, but I didn't care. I would just figure out the chording, write out the charts, and I lived fantasy in my head like I did with Star Wars, like I did when I played with my little army men, lost in time. 3, 4 hours lost in time on my own. I didn't care about anything. My back would be aching from sitting on the piano bench. And I was just like in delight land. Anyone here ever lost themselves, their I in creation, where time goes, whoop? Kristen, I see a hand. Anyone else have any I in them that's
Can you help me figure out? I can't change the. Oh.
can you, Britt, keep the thanks. All right. So that is that. Other traits. Connects to B's, connect to problem solving, big thinking. Why? And why do O's connect to passion and thrill? Because O's want to feel alive. They want to ride the highs of life. S's are like, whoa, hang on. Is that safe? Is that roller coaster been checked the last, you know what I mean? O's aren't even thinking about that. B's are wanting to blow something up. I's are wanting their thing. Now we're going to get to how to sell to these people. They're, oh my gosh, it's like the I, the perfect I, the ideal I, and I'm not saying good or bad, but the prototypical I, if they have kids, dear God, they think all their kids are like the most amazing. And some of their kids probably suck, but they'll never say it because it's their creations. But sometimes you poop out a real stinker and it's like, that's okay. It doesn't mean there isn't value, but it's like, the prototypical mom that thinks all of her babies are the best. Usually, not always, but that's an I quality coming forward because it's her creations. And it's hard to just, I struggled with this. I would create programs. Gina saw this probably. Sometimes I created coaching programs that were hot garbage and I sold them and then ran them for a couple months. One was called Ripple. And I was like, this sucks. I was like, what the hell was I thinking that this was good? This is garbage. And so I just closed it down after 3 months and I felt embarrassed. I'm like, how could I create something so pathetic and not see it? Like, how did I think that drawing was good? You guys, any eyes ever felt that? Or have you ever questioned, right? Okay, it's the same. So B's always think their scaling is the best. S's always think their lists, their procedures. Dear God, never get in the way of it. S's, the way they decorate their house at Christmas or Halloween, Brittany. Oh my gosh, they take it personally. This is my structure. Don't mess with my stuff. So this is how we learn to understand what am I? And then we're going to get into how to sell to them. Because all you got to do is identify, well, what are they? And start talking their language. That's all you got to do. Really, that's it in life. If someone walks up to you and they're speaking German, if they walk up to me and they're speaking German and I'm talking English, who's the idiot if I'm trying to sell to them? They're not the idiot. I'd be the idiot. And so this is going to help you guys arm you with identifying who am I talking to? Okay, first of all, is this landing? We're going to keep going on, but I want to make sure you guys are catching what I'm throwing down. Okay, notice I said I'm an OI. An IO, when they're presenting, notice I'm not talking very quietly, sitting very passively, presenting with lots of charts and structures. This is what an S would do. I'd have a better shirt on. I'd have probably my background blurred, but an IO is like energy creation. A B would be showing up polished. Like their shit is polished because they don't want anyone thinking they don't drive a nice car. They don't want anyone thinking they don't have a lot of money, because that's what a B wants, is success. S's are very nice slides. I's are creative, and O's are, well, they're all up and down like me. Okay, so even note when you guys have a prospect come on a call, are they reserved? Are they fun? If they're fun, they got O in them. So we're going to teach you guys how to appeal to that. And I didn't turn my reactions off because I think they're fun, because I'm an OI, and to me, that's fun. Okay, here we go. Next, we go to dislikes. Bs do not like being below average, Brittany. Brittany, do you like below average? Exactly. Who else said they have B in them? There was 2 or 3. Please raise your hand, hold it up. Who's got, okay, I see Becky. Becky, do you like being below average? Look at the head shake. Oh my gosh, her ponytail went like 16 inches. Exactly. Anyone else have B in them that I didn't see? Okay. The reason why is Bs see themselves as successful. Why the hell should I settle? Why? This is a choice. So if you got more than, I don't know, 5% B in you, if you're above 10 or 20%, Robin says, I want to be a B. Well, Robin, you probably want to hang out with Bs, because they will activate. If you have a 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5% energy in something, if you do you will, being around someone with like over 10, 20% B will activate your B. Look at who are you drawn to. You're going to be drawn to people. Okay, my belief is that life shows me who I am. I don't see life as life is. I see life as I am. People that piss me off, it's because they show me something I don't like about myself. Now, it could be something I don't like about myself, or it could be something I've not made peace with. Certain people online right now, man, do they piss me off. But it's like, I always go, Bracewell, what are they showing you? Don't be a freaking idiot. They're showing you something about you. That's why you're so angry. Otherwise, why would you get angry? Why would you get angry? It's not about you, right? So and then whatever you're drawn to is showing you something about yourself that you also have, I believe. So if JoJo displays a quality and you're like, oh my gosh, I love that quality in JoJo, it's because you got it. JoJo's might be higher than yours, but I believe you're drawn to it because you are it. You are it. And so that person will ignite you a bit more. All right, I'm going to monitor the chat as we go here. Okay, so they hate being below average. Oh my gosh, O's hate boring. All US personalities, if you want to kill an O quick, be a wet blanket, because it will absolutely, at any in your marriage, be a wet blanket, in the bedroom, be a wet blanket, in whatever, be a wet blanket, and you will see the O energy, the fun die out of the room. S's hate risk and sales. I's hate boxes. Okay, who here has S? Let's do the honesty test. Of the S's, who hates sales? Okay, I see hands. Why? What do you hate about it? Why is it either scary? And again, anger is a secondary emotion. Fear is a baseline emotion. So what is it about it that makes you feel afraid? Are you afraid of saying the wrong thing? Are you afraid of they're going to reject you? What is it you're afraid of? Hard to approach. I'm not good at it. Fair enough. Yes. Fear of what others think and rejection of not being successful. Fair enough. Kristen, what was your results again? Sales has an ick. Just type them in the chat there. An ick factor. Sarah, why? What is ick? What is ick about sales? I would love to know that. Throw in the chat. No, I'm okay doing it wrong and being rejected. Okay, I'm just not very good at it. Okay, good. Tanya, what are your results, Tanya? Be curious. SO last week. SO. Okay, well, Kristen, you got O in you. You got, okay. Anyway, ask for something they don't want to give. Ask for something they don't want to give. Okay. Don't like to be judged. Don't like to be judged. Hate hustling and people. This is fantastic. Ah, yes. Okay. Let's keep going. Excuse me as I sniffle. I've had this like thing for like a week. It's almost gone. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I got COVID. Brittany, don't worry. I won't go into my rant. Typical income. B's, it's excellent. If you're a high B, you don't settle. Now, if you're not a high B, and then we'll do at the same time, O's are up and down. Okay, a high, this is again extremes. You guys are all mixtures. A high O is like They are a typical sales marketer. Okay. The real estate person that jumps from MLM to MLM, think of the absolute extreme. A high, so their income is like this. A high B, just you can imagine someone that to a non B might be a bit entitled. Not that they are, but it might come across that. Anyone here invited someone out to a presentation and they're like, well, what's in it for me? Like, what am I going to get out of this? You want to join my podcast? Yeah. Okay. How much money am I going to make by showing up your pod? Chris, Brittany, you said this, right? So look for language of indicators, or it's like, what do they want, right? Because the B wants lots of money. They're not settling for less than lots. Why the hell would I settle? That's there, right? O's are like, it's up and down. S's is stable, and I's are weak. They're not motivated by it. So in order of money, and I'm not, this is not better than others. Okay. I'm not, again, no shame. Do not accept shame in your life. B's will make the most money, just like S's will make the best lists. Okay. Doesn't mean it's better. It just means it's a thorough list, or they're not going to do it. B's will make the most money. S's have the second most money. A high S wants stability. They're like, they want to marry someone that makes a lot of money. So some kind of engineering doctor, whatever, you guys can use your mind. O's will be up and down. They can be higher than an S on their highs and lower than an S on their lows. And an S will look at that and go, dear God, not touching it, not touching it. Right. And then an I is literally, you guys think of a high I as someone that's always creating. They don't think of money. Anyone here know a high I that does not think of money? It's like money doesn't exist. I'm seeing some smiles. That is because, and there's no fault in this, it's because they don't care. I am an OI, and I've learned to stabilize myself. I have a little bit of S in me. But when I was younger, I was like, why would I care about money? It didn't matter to me. I wanted to sing. I wanted to ride the roller coaster thrills of life. I wanted to excite people. I wanted to. So again, listen for why people are doing what they're doing. Okay. Downsides, danger zone, narcissist, megalomaniac. B's can be. Brittany told me she doesn't want me using specific examples of people that I would normally use because it'll piss some of you guys off. Notice that I'm stirring the pot anyway, so I'm not going to say people because for me, it's fun to piss people off. I always go, if I piss you off, number one, you're welcome because you get to see your shit. There's your mirror. But a lot of people haven't graduated to that yet. And so they don't really haven't accepted, in my opinion, when they're pissed off, it's actually them. It's not someone else. So I enjoy doing it because I always feel like I'm doing you a gift, and you can take your anger and just suck on it as far as I care. So narcissistic, megalomaniac, charlatan, scammer, which I could be if I lean into my own energy. I could absolutely be a charlatan scammer. When I was young, I was a freaking thief. I used to steal money from my parents. I was so pissed off. I felt like I deserve to be born to a rich family. How dare you not have a lot of money? How dare I not get toys? How dare? So I would rip my parents off. I didn't feel good about it, but I started with my mom and my grandma, and then my dad. I would take like loonies, and in Canada it's loonies. I would go to the store and I would play video games, and I totally was that. I sold a 5-year-old at 11 years old. I sold her a half blown off pack of firecrackers to a 5-year-old. They were illegal in Canada, and I sold them to a little girl, my sister's friend. And then she came back. Amanda said, you got to give, I think her name was Sheena, her parents want you to give the money back. I was like, oh, crap. Had a good racket going here. That's the charlatan scammer energy. Left unchecked. And then the final time I stole, I was in grade 11, and I felt so bad. I took $140, which is like $100 American in Canada, from a guy. I ripped him off twice in his locker, and I felt so sick about the money. I went and took my brother after high school. He was 5 years younger, grade 7, who went to this sporting goods store. I'm still playing with my toy. Notice fidgeting because I need excitement energy as a OI. And I bought him like a hockey stick, and he was in hockey. I reffed hockey and all this stuff. And I couldn't even buy myself something. I felt sick. So I went to the principal the next day, and I told him everything. And then I never stole again. And he's like, yeah, I gotta give you 3-day suspension. I was like, I'm done being a thief. So I was like a thief for like 6 years. So that is what I'm capable of. I know how to be a freaking charlatan scammer if I want. You bees know how to be. It doesn't mean you will be, but you know how to turn it on, baby, if you want. All the S's, you guys know how to be a wet blanket. Don't tell me you don't, or it's a bunch of bullshit. S's know how to be a wet blanket and be a freaking killjoy. It doesn't mean you are, but it means you can be. And I's know how to be poor as a pauper. Like, let's be real. I's know how to not care about money so much, and it's just butterflies and roses and Craig doing my paintings, and I'm not faulting any of this, but it's because there's a lack of what others would call grounding. There's a lack of faith in S's ruled by fear if they don't manage it. I's, O's, there's a lack of honesty. I can be, if I want, can be a freaking charlatan. Lack of consideration for others. Now, this is how others will reference you. I'm not saying this is ultimate truth or that this is how God sees you. I'm just saying that when it comes person to person, if I'm judging and I'm putting my belief systems on someone else, this is often how it shows up. Okay. Throw your comments. How is this landing? No, you're not wet blanket and poor as a pauper, Tanya, but you could be. This is where it comes to personal awareness. Where am I gifted at? If you're an SI, Tanya, you're going to be strong in systems, in details, in structure, in safety. Did you have children, Tanya? And if you're I, you'll probably be creative in your parenting. Any SIs pretty good at parenting? Yeah. Because the purpose of this is just to, okay, the ego, I would encourage you guys, check yourself. I've learned to train myself this way. I certainly didn't in my 20s and 30s and 40s, but well, sometimes in my 40s I did. It's like, there's a mirror, Bracewell. What's the truth? Do you want to live your life with your head up your ass or the truth? What am I good at? What am I not? I'm good at sales marketing, creative sales marketing. I'm good at stirring people up. I'm not good at like creating stability. In fact, Gina knows, I shut down a coaching program because I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I'm freaking babysitting you people and you guys are not taking action. And I'm tired of wasting my time with people that piss their life away or not taking action. I told Britt this, I can't coach people. I can stir them up and excite them. I can inspire them. But dear God, I cannot nurture a child because I'm not an S. My daughter, that's part of the struggle we had is I was not good at nurturing her. I was like, let's go. This is boring. Let's go. Let's go do something fun. And I didn't create safe enough boundaries. So my daughter always felt emotionally held by me. Looking back and I'm like, would have been better if I had a bit more S energy in me, but her mom was a high S, I think B, but this is the way it is. Rochelle, I feel at odds with myself a lot. What is your results, Rochelle? But this is something I've learned from every person I test. I'm always on the opposite end of both spectrums, so try to lean into the strengths. Emotion equals sales. You're an SO. So Rochelle, clearly, because didn't you say, I love teaching? You also like being on camera, Rochelle, I've noticed. Like you're very comfortable on camera. That's O. S's will only go on camera if they're prepared. And Rochelle, you told me you love teaching. Well, that's usually S energy. If you like teaching, you probably got a lot of S in you. Okay, we're almost done this first. Okay, order of building. This is how anything is built. Idea, IOSB. Okay, any of you ever felt like you're missing a key component in your life, in your business? Like one key thing, maybe. Anyone ever felt like that? One key thing. Yes? Natalie says yes. Okay, well, yes, Amanda. Okay, this is it. It's because, and I'll show you this is all, okay, anecdotal. You can throw all this out. I don't care. I'm going to go and live my life and be happy and be successful and do what I want. But I want you guys, I would encourage you to consider this. Is this true for you? If it doesn't fit, throw it out. But I would suggest that everything in life starts with this. And what I call this is the spark. Inception of idea or thought, then messy prototype. Oh, then refinement of concept, then duplication of proven structure. Anything you want to think of in life, literally anything you can think of starts with an idea. I want to get in shape. I'm going to get my ass to the gym. And I'm 30 pounds, whatever, and I look like, and they're judging me and probably all in my head, you know what I mean? Then I'm maybe going to get a trainer, take it to the next level. Then maybe I'm going to do some competitions. This is literally everything. Having a child. I want to have a child. I'm going to have some sex. I'm going to create the nursery. and get the room ready for the baby and buy some clothes and think about parenting books. Total S energy. I'm going to have 14 kids, all the Mormons in the house. Amen. Right? Or two, whatever. Okay, so having a child, online business. I want to have an online business. I want to take a coaching program or just to start without just throw something at the wall. After initial things, I'm going to create systems and launch multiple programs. I gave some more examples, irrelevant for right now. How to sell to them. Ooh, here, anyone want to know how to sell these people? Here's the whole purpose of today. Also for your relationships. I'm so used to people talking and none of you guys are talking. You're too funny. I'm definitely seeing where I'm stuck. Kelly, good. Well, we're going to open this up and I'm going to answer questions, show you guys how to get unstuck real fast. All right. How to sell to them. B, show them your thing will, nope, sorry. We're starting with IOSB. To sell them an I, all you do is show that your thing will blow up their creations. That's it. That's all they want to know. That's all that I cares about is tell me that my beautiful things I created are amazing, even if they suck. Tell me my songs, my art, my idea, my writing, my books, my whatever. I'm not telling lie to people, but I'm saying tell them show them how your thing will explode their thing across the planet. I know this because I have eye in me. Oh my gosh, that's what I wanted when as a singer. Someone just come along and make it magically all explode. That's what I wants. What an O wants is you sell them with FOMO or opportunity. FOMO or opportunity. So I told Brittany you guys need more of in your sales calls. Anecdotal, my opinion. Tell me I'm full of shit. I don't care. But an O energy is not buying if there's no FOMO. So how I sell to my people is I'm like, listen, Gina, this thing is already huge in Asia. You've already seen what the products did. You've already tried it out. Look what happened in your stomach. I'm going to blow this up in Canada. I'm doing this whether your ass is doing this or not, girl. So do you want to participate in this huge, insane opportunity with me in North America and Europe? Or are you going to piss your opportunity away for the next year? What do you want to do, Gina? Now, I'm being an ass right now, extreme, because I want to show you guys FOMO is real. Anyone with O in you, FOMO is real. Ever made a purchase because FOMO? It's like, well, the salesperson was so good. It's like, I thought if I don't do it, I can't do it. Right? Okay, Kelly says, I try to rebel against your FOMO. No, Kelly, lean into your FOMO. You guys can lean into these are your superpowers. It's actually your superpower, Kelly. You leverage your FOMO to sell to other O opportunists that will, just like you guys as S's, and I'll show you in a second, leverage your S. Don't fight your S. Use your S to rope in all the other S's because you guys know how to speak their language. You guys know what an S wants. They want testimonials. They want data. They want details. They want, show me I'm not the first one to jump off the cliff. I want to be safe. Show me there's no tigers in the bushes. Show me you've done your work. And then, Brittany, why the hell did you join your brother? He already blown up with money. He already had testimonials. And even after months of that, you still weren't sure if you could do it, correct? That's an S personality trait. Wasn't your brother already, didn't he hit $40,000 second month and 80,000 his third month? An O would have jumped with him like month 2. An S go, hang on. And there's no fault in this. It's know who I am, operate accordingly. Bumblebee does not try to be a jet. Bumblebee does not try to be whatever, Optimus Prime. Bumblebee was recon, stealth, and courageous. So Bumblebee stayed Bumblebee, and then Bumblebee thrived in the movies and cartoons. I's or B's have the best marketing, best car, or best lifestyle. You will not sell to a high B unless you look like you're successful. So don't try to sell to high B's unless you are that. And any new business owner, the very first thing, and the lowest hanging fruit until you get testimonials, you sell to I's and O's. You play on how your thing can blow up their thing. So for unicity, if you come across someone that's creative and they're a singer, a painter, whatever, show them how unicity, just being on the products even, will help them perform. Literally. because they won't be shitting themselves on stage or with constipation because whatever. You guys can fill in the blank. Show them how the product will help them in their craft, period, or in their art, or in the crafts they make and ship, all that stuff. If it's an O, show FOMO. Lean into FOMO. Literally lean into FOMO. Listen, talk money. Now, don't do this on social media, because if you do it on social media, you always have to give the caveat these are not typical income things. But when I get a O opportunity, I always talk about the fact that, yeah, in the first whatever week or two, $1,800. Always talk money with O's. If you don't, spank yourself, slap your wrist. Always, especially if you're making money. If you're not making money, borrow Brittany's testimonial. Because otherwise, why the hell would an O join you? And if you want O's to blow up your business for you, which they will, you got to get them in your business. S's only will blow up your business if they already have a huge following. But getting an S in your business, Brittany, you had that one, Jody Moore. I don't know what Jody is, but getting an S in your business is difficult because they're going to go show me all the proof that you're not going to burn my house down and that there's not tigers in the bushes. And if they do have a large following, it could be a very long time, hypothetically, until they actually distribute it to their. Okay, so let's open this up. This is crazy. It said I'm an O and I don't care about money. Yeah, O's don't really care about money. O's care about the thrill. Rochelle, hit it.
So I get that this works for people that we know, because we could kind of figure out what to present to them, but how can we kind of put this into, what we're creating and it's going out to the larger audience and we're trying to touch each of those points to draw in the people?
Great question. On your social media content?
Yeah.
Okay, if you're appealing to you got to do content. Okay, it's very difficult, number one, to do content with all four things, because you can show up polished doing testimonials and stats. That's going to appeal to S. That's going to be boring to an O. How do I make it fun for an O? Well, I would do intentional content targeting I's. Now, again, here's the deal, Rochelle. Everybody has two. You're not like, well, I have a 25% chance of getting it. No. You get a 50% chance. If you get two of these in your content, almost always you'll capture someone. 75% of the world has S in them. That's why we have so many employees. S's are amazing employees. They don't question. They follow the rules because they believe safety's in the boxes. They do great in religion, great in all the boxes. They're awesome and dependable that way. So if you have testimonials, always are bangers. If you have systems and formula, if you want to appeal to an O, you got to switch it up and make it exciting. As in, let your crazy out. If you got any crazy in you. Now, that might, for others, that would be fun. But that's how I'm more meaning for your one-on-one sales calls. Your content, that's a challenge, because I would just try to bring in whatever you are. If you're an SI, you're going to be creative. You're going to be structured. I'd bring in O energy. Don't worry about B's. Once you're making $10,000, $20,000 a month minimum, and you're showing it on camera, you'll pull B's, because B's will be like, that's someone I'd like to hang out with. She looks like she's on my level. I'm not kidding you. My brother's a B. He's an OB, and he does not talk to people that do not make $1 million a year. He's like, why the hell would I waste my time with you? And fine. That's his happy space. Great. Perfect. So don't worry about B's, but for your social media content, I'm meaning on sales calls. Yeah. Okay, Robin, sounds good. You're welcome. My pleasure. On sales calls, I got to check out my Airbnb. I got to leave in 10 minutes anyway. Sales calls, you want to watch how they're sitting. An S will never sit like this. I mean, I'm sitting. Not a chance. Rochelle, look how you're sitting.
Yeah, I'm an SO.
Hey, so look how you're sitting. I don't care about my background. Okay, so who am I talking to? So if I'm like this, you're going to, before you ever go into presentation, Brittany did this with us. Never start your presentation without building rapport. If it takes you 15 minutes to build rapport. You got to find a connecting spot and also identify who am I talking to. Are they moving around lots? Are they fidgeting? Are they sitting still? I've not stopped, and I wasn't even thinking about it. I've not stopped fidgeting or moving. Okay. Well, that's not an S personality. Do they care about their appearance, or are they showing up as they are? Uh, are they wearing really nice clothes? What's their background? Are they animated? Or are they not? Most S's are not overly animated unless they're an SO. Because S, and I love S because everyone I hire and work with has S in them because I'm weak in S and I want more S in my life. So everyone that I've ever experienced in S is they're never going to do really loud laughing, really exuberant responses. It's always going to be controlled and contained just in case there's a tiger in the bush. So when you're talking to someone, Michelle, and you get them on the video and you need to identify at least one of their traits. So if they're looking like you, sounding like you got an S. If they're doing what I'm doing, you probably got an O personality. If they're fidgeting, if they're excited, are they smiling? Like, are they like this? Yeah, if like first of all, you got to get them out on camera. Your number one job is not your damn presentation. Your number one job is connect with the person, or you're not selling shit. So most people, and again, S's are going to rush into a presentation. Fail. Never in sales and marketing is your goal the presentation. Your goal is, who the hell am I talking to? Why do you think I've come off camera on sharing many times? Why do you think I've gone to chat? I see that. I see. What am I doing? I see that head nodding, Vanessa. What am I doing? I'm trying to establish emotional connection. Someone said it earlier. Emotions sell. Facts tell. If you're not getting your people emotional on the camera, you're not selling. Now, S's get emotional. They get hot and bothered from stats, structure, details, testimonials. That gets them hot and bothered. That is emotion. I's get emotional. Show me your thing's going to blow my shit up. That's all they care about. O's get emotional. Show me there's FOMO. Show me, Rochelle, that we can blow this up. Show me that I can ride the roller coaster of life to heaven. That's what they want. B's, show me that I can be an even bigger badass on the planet and make more money and be top dog in my city. You got to show them what they want, and you got to get them emotional. And so to get them emotional, you got to connect because you got to get their personality out on camera. And never start your presentation until you got emotional connection. Ever, or you've already failed.
That's really good. Thanks.
Yeah. Welcome. Again, anecdotal. This is my perspective. Do what you want, but I encourage you guys to consider this and try to leverage it and play with it like your partner, your friend, your child. What is your child doing? Is your child having a hard time sitting still? They're not an S, and they're not ADHD. They're freaking looking for opportunity and looking to expand and blow up shit. Are they always creating in their thing and they can't focus at school? It's because they're probably super creative or super energetic, and the stupid school systems don't know what the hell they're doing. Like, so what is my child doing? What is my partner doing? How do I appeal to them? Britt, I'll end on this. Once you know what language you're talking, your prospect or partner or person is talking, you can connect with them. As soon as you can connect with them, you can find out what do they want. Once I know what someone wants, they're mine. Find out what they want. Your only goal in a call is, what does this person care about? Why should they care about what I want to show them if I don't even show that I've cared about them? And this is the easiest way to find out what do they care about, because you'll hijack their dopamine center and you'll do some jujitsu on them once you understand what they want. And I think it's ethical because they'll tell you what they want, and then you just go, okay, how can I give you what I want and also get what I want? Amen. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord.
Love it. So good. Okay. And Amos, maybe obviously we'll have the recording so y'all can go back.
Questions? Do you want me to answer questions or no?
Yeah, we can spend a few minutes. I know we're over time, so if anybody needs to leave, no need to stick around. I get it. I want to respect your time, but if you want, if Amos has a couple minutes and you
I got five,
Perfect.
7 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, so we can stick around for that. I just want to say too, Amos, I think it would be kind of cool, and I don't know if this is too much to ask, but if there's and maybe this is the S part of me, but if there were some questions that you recommend asking in that trying to connect and build rapport with someone.
I love that. That's so S, and that's so awesome. Thank you for asking that S.
That could kind of help you determine what that person, where that person lies a little bit, because then I think it helps us to know, okay, with this person, I need to lean more into, the opportunity and the FOMO. With this person, I need to show more proof. With this person, I need to really lean into how this is going to help their thing be more relevant, right? Like their creative thing be more relevant. So I hear you on that. And I can think of a few questions I would ask, but I'm curious what you would ask. And I think that would be helpful for everyone.
Okay, know your default. First of all, know who you are. If you're an ask going into presentation, your default is going to be, how can I get through my presentation? I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying before you do that, you got to connect.
Yes, that's what,
If,
and so
yeah,
how, right? It's usually through asking
right,
questions.
right. So, okay, so now, Brittany, you're asking an OI for S questions, which is a great ask, Brittany. So, okay, I'm going to show you guys a hack here.
Because you do this. I've seen you do this, right? You ask questions and you probably some of it is just you observing the person.
Yeah, 1 second.
I'd love to know too, because I'm an SO, but you see, I show up as an S and you don't see my feet kicking under the desk constantly and rubbing on the
Yeah, that's
desk.
me too.
So it's
My
like,
legs going the whole
yeah,
time, but
yeah, like
I'm
finding that
sitting like this.
question because it's almost like maybe my O is really powerful, but because of the way I was raised and whatever, I
You
show up
structured
as
it.
an
You
S.
reined it in. Yeah. O energy is all over. If you're moving, you got O in you. That's excitement.
Yeah.
Okay, so watch this. Let's do. I got to share
And
my
any
screen
other
here.
questions, put them in the chat or come off mute, you guys,
Hang
and I'll
on.
get out of the way.
So how to use ChatGPT. All right. So what I want to do is go and reference everything from Joe Abraham on BOSI. BOSI is an acronym: builder, opportunist, specialist, innovator. And I'm on a sales call right now with some, or not sales call. I'm on a training call for BOSI, and I've trained them on everything I've figured out with BOSI. And I'm dealing with a lot of specialists, and so they need to know one or two or three questions they can ask to pre-frame the sales call when they get someone on a sales call, and they're going to run them through the presentation for unicity, but they want to first connect emotionally with the prospect for the purpose of determining, who the hell am I talking to? Is this a builder, an opportunist, a specialist, an innovator? I've already framed them with everything I know. Can you give us a couple of questions, things they could do before they start their sales presentation to understand, how can I identify who am I speaking to for the purpose of making an emotional connection? Number one, and also identifying, do they have a bit of B, O, S, or I in them? Okay. And then you just send it. Send. Uh, see what this says. Oh, you dummy. I hate it when it gets wrong. Trying to stop it. Okay, I said BOSI. What does he see? Okay, retype out the answer again. Thanks. I said BOSC up here. BOSC. I didn't say BOSC. Yeah, like this. Three
Amos, can you tell me the name of the podcast or the TED Talk, please?
So the book is Entrepreneurial DNA. Joe
Okay.
Abraham. Joe
Okay.
Abraham.
Okay. Okay.
3 A's. Yeah.
Okay.
10X Talk.
Thanks.
Bend, Oregon.
Okay.
Okay, so what you're listening for? Question one: when you look at the work, yeah, hey, that's a great question to ask. Like, yeah, Rochelle, hey, Rochelle, yeah, thanks for jumping on the call today. I was just really curious as I've been looking into your Facebook stuff. What kind of work do you feel you're naturally best at? That's a great question to ask. Listen for what they say. Before we start, what is the most frustrating part of how you're currently making money or helping people? Now, again, do a bit of dig work, and then I can send you this, Brett.
Hey, that
Look,
last one though, that's actually something that I've heard Trent do a lot. Like, what's like he'll ask them kind of what their goals are, and then he'll say, like, what do you feel like has been standing in the way of you getting to that?
great.
Right? So I think that that could be a really good one.
I'll send this here in all you do is here. Share. Those of you that use ChatGPT, you can copy the wrong thing. Oh, create link. There we go. There you go. You can click on that. It'll open up in your chat, continue on this thread. But yeah, these look like if this is working perfectly here from now. What would you want it to give you? I don't know. That's not an opening question. Okay, give me more examples. I don't like question 3. You failed. That is not an opening question. It's not an established rapport. So go back and do better work next time. Give me 3 questions they can ask. This is a person they maybe know a little bit. So they need to have like icebreaker questions that help them identify whether it's a B, O, S, or I. These are not questions they're asking after they build rapport. This is to build rapport. So give me those answers and do a better job. Don't be afraid to slap your AI around. Unless you're an S, then you will be afraid. You'll be like, yeah, but I need to be kind. Which you do, because you're an S. Don't violate who you are. Still doing this, idiot. BOSC. I didn't say BOSC. What's been keeping you busy lately? Like, what are you most in right now? Okay. Sure. Oh, this is a great way of identifying if they're an O. Do you naturally prefer building something long term, or do you like spawning like hot opportunities and moving fast when something looks good? And S will run away from this question. Oh God, no, that sounds scary. And I probably wouldn't even respond, and I would be, unless they get into their creations. But again, you got a 50% chance of hitting it. Okay, I'll drop this again, share, and then let's go to the next question. Is there a question? It's killing me how you're talking to chat. Oh yeah, Natalie, I drop F-bombs all the time. I toned it down for Brit because I was like, there's a lot of religious people here. I don't want to, piss anybody off too bad. And I was raised that way too, but I love swearing. Words are made up. They don't mean anything unless I think they mean something. So yeah, I love swearing. Okay, who's got any other questions? Someone feels like you're working with DMO. Working DMO, okay, some rhythm. Any other questions?
Amos, can I ask? I don't know why my video isn't working, but it's not. But I am revolting against the O, and I don't know why. I don't know what my, yeah. I would just like to say that I very much see Natalie as an O, but in different ways, so it's funny for me to hear you say that, Nat.
Hey, Natalie, I saw your video 2 months ago of you traveling. You and your husband were going somewhere and you packed some big ass suitcase and you were talking about, I can't imagine, or is this the wrong person? I thought it was you.
No, that's the right one. I can't imagine packing in a carry-on.
Right. Like you're bringing options, girl, options. You don't want to be, you know what I mean? So that's funny. And you were very free on camera. You were very expressive. You were not controlled and restrained. I remember you were like kind of, you weren't freaking out like I'm freaking out, and I'm not judging myself for freaking out. I think it's fun, but you definitely have O energy. So what about it feels wrong, bad, shameful, fill in the blank?
Well, I thought you had said, well, I do have FOMO, so that's true. But like, I thought you said to talk about money if you want to attract O's. Is that true?
No, opportunity.
Oh, opportunity.
Yeah, okay. O's, it's not. So B's are only coming to you if you got wealth and bucks and success. B's are a bit on the nose. So O's, it's all about the splash. It's about, like I collect Nike Air Jordan. I got 4 pairs here and 2 more. It's like, that's not B. That's not necessarily success because there's a lot better shoes than Nike Air Jordans. But it's like, for me, it's like I had to go back to childhood, didn't have the money. So now I got some Transformers and some Jordan. It's like, it's fun. I get to express myself creatively, the I side of me, right? So do you still think you're revolting against your O? Because it seems like you're pretty free on camera.
Maybe I'm misunderstanding what O is then.
O is, yeah, opportunist. So O is the roller coaster, the spice of life. I is like a spark, an instigator, initiator, the idea, right? IOSB. So anything in life, if you're an I and an S, and I'm not fingering you guys, you're lacking O. To get anything off the ground successfully, you got to go and lean on an O. Because driving a car, you're driving the car, it's a standard. If you have I, you got first gear. If you don't have O, you can't go to third gear, which you have if you have S. So think of your life like gears. You're driving. Anyone here driven a stick shift?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So anything in life, if you're stuck, literally, in my opinion, it's you're missing a gear. So if something is not successful, if you're an S, an OS or an SO, you need someone else for ideas. Great. Lean on them for ideas. Borrow someone's idea and then bring your O energy, which is gear 2, which is a hot mess. Let's have fun. And O's don't feel it's a mess. They feel it's fun. S's might look at that like it's a mess, but because S's strength is to systematize and make it structured and more streamlined. They're great at that. So anything in life that goes IOSB, B is scaling, multiple kids, multiple businesses, multiple whatever, multiple partners. In unicity, idea, opportunist, you have to throw O energy into being really uncomfortable on camera, really uncomfortable on social media, really uncomfortable. Unless you are an O, then you're not really uncomfortable. But if you're an S, you have to throw gear 2 to go make a hot mess to start growing a team and get testimonials. You don't get to do this gear 3 until you have momentum. This is what creates momentum. You have the idea for unicity or having a kid. You got to go make a hot freaking mess. And the trick with the S is let myself go. Let go of the fear of the wet blanket and just give myself to getting in the kitchen of life and just stirring it up. Get out there and do a bunch of fun things and have fun. And then if you're strong in S, you'll naturally systematize, organize, and structure everything. So everything is IOSB.
So do you think my S is fighting my O? Because I feel like it's a little.
Yeah, S is an O's fight because S wants safety, structure, systems, and O wants fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what's happening because I'm an OS and my S is really having a hard time with my O.
One example, please, of what, because others will probably relate. What's an example of how it fights? Like, how does it show up in your business, for example?
Like I feel like I'm on the brink of a breakthrough, and then
Yeah.
S comes in with fear and says, "You're doing it all wrong. You suck. Start over." Like
Right.
it starts looking left and right instead of staying in my own lane.
Okay, great. Perfect example. Thank you, Natalie. So what's happening is S is trying to come in, know your role in life, right? So you've already got the idea, Nat. You've gear 1, gear 2, you've successfully shifted to gear 2, and your S is trying to get you to throw it into gear 3 before you've revved up gear 2 high enough. You guys that have driven stick shifts, if you go into a gear 2, for example, and it's low in the revs, it's difficult to get to gear 3. You'll have no power. And that's what's happening, Nat, is you need to rev that shit up in O and say, S, I love you. I respect you. But bitch, you're gear 3. We are in gear 2 still. And if I do not honor gear 2, gear 3 will never thrive, Nat. So lean into your hot, messy, fun side. Give yourself, this is what Mel talked about, full permission, unburdened from the misplaced responsibility of what is my role and when is my role. It's not just what is my role, is when is my role. So it's gear 1 is I, gear 2 is O. If I don't give myself, like today I'm driving to LA for a launch event we're doing, I'm going to be driving on my phone, doing I have a contest with Loren currently, and I can't let her win. So I got to do 30 reach outs today to new prospects. I'm going to be going through my phone my contacts and I'm making a deal with myself. It's going to be messy. I'm starting at the top. Whoever's at the top, I don't know. There's like 1,000 or 2,000 contacts on my phone. Just going down. I'm not skipping anybody. If it's an ex-girlfriend, I don't care who they are. Their ass is getting prospected. And what's the worst? They get mad at me. I don't know who's in my phone. It's been like 10 years with iPhones or 15. It doesn't matter. And that is not S. That is O. I've been doing this and I've been having, and even as an O I have a secondary of S. That part of me still gets scared sometimes, Natalie. It goes, oh my gosh, is there a tiger? Am I going to get in trouble? Is someone going to say something bad about me? But I'm just like, you know what? Sit your ass down. You're gear 3. Your time is not here. I have to go and make a mess before I can clean up a mess and systematize and structure it. S has no business in the kitchen until there's a recipe. We have to have the idea for the cookie, Brittany, and then you got to go and try to make the cookie because you don't have the recipe. You guys don't have recipes. You're relying on someone else's recipe. Doesn't mean it's going to be your recipe. So you're out there, you got the idea, you're slinging your stuff on social media, talking to people. There is no particular recipe for you. You're following a rough recipe, but you got to make it your own in your own dang kitchen. And so your S, you got to tell it to, I love you, but shut up and sit down. I'm still figuring out my own recipe, which is all O energy. When the timing is right, I will bring you in the kitchen. You are welcome and you are loved, but you have no business right now.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you guys will go first gear to third gear and finger yourselves unintentionally because you skip second gear. Or if you're not an I and you just go OS, well, you may be lacking creative ways of doing stuff. And so you might need to lean on others for creations of how to do this, but you'll successfully be able to go gear 2, make a hot mess, and you'll have fun with it. And then gear 3, structure it once you've made a hot mess. But you got to make a hot mess first.
Okay. Thank you, Amos.
You're welcome. I know it's difficult. I lived with a lot of shame going, well, why do not have more S? Why can't I be more structured and neat and polished? And how come others have neat handwriting and mine's garbage? And how come others are like so politically correct and I just run my freaking mouth and I love it, but sometimes it's got me into trouble. And why can't I just like tone myself down sometimes? I've not been able to do it since I was a kid. And I'm just like, you know what? Screw it. It's who I am. It's who I am. And I'm going to be the best damn transformer I can be, because Bumblebee was good at certain things that others weren't. So when you ask yourself, as you sit with this, who am I? And if I lean into my excellence, what would be possible if I just accept who I am and love who I am? And how the hell is anyone else going to love me if I don't love me? They're going to see that I don't love myself. It's going to screw up all my relationships. I'm going to attract bad partners, bad friends, because life shows me what I am. Just shows me what I am. And so I encourage you guys to love yourselves and embrace what you believe God made you to be. All right, done. How's that?
Awesome. Thank you. Great closing note. Appreciate everything and your time and energy and preparation and all the research you've done that you shared with us today. It was really great.
I didn't do
Great
any
insight.
research. I made it all up. It's true. I just make it up. I don't do research.
Well, it's your version of research, right? It's like you think about it still and you kind of whatever with chat or however you do it, you frame it. So thank you for doing that.
Welcome.
And you all have a wonderful day. Hope you guys go get out there and lean into your leading traits and crush it today. Okay, we'll see you guys.